guys, it's your girl Serena Jade here. We're in my sewing room. You can see the wall of badges. I think there's like 70 up there now. This is my 10th year doing conventions and I've honestly lost count of like how many cons I've been to. I feel old. My first convention was 2009. So gotta correct posture. The reason why I have not uploaded in a while is because back in May I had my wisdom teeth extracted. So I had this video filmed beforehand, but I decided to try and use natural light. Never gonna do that again. So I tried using natural light, and that it was overcast day, and I was like, that seems like good light. It wasn't. So it came out really like just overcast, like super white, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it because I am a noob at editing, as we can tell in my pretty previous videos. So I decided to ditch that, but the next day I had gotten my wisdom teeth out and was pretty much out of commission for like 2 weeks because, you know, having 5 teeth pulled all at once is pretty gnarly. And my wisdom teeth roots, like, I kept them because, you know, your girl / boy, whatever the hell I am. Happy Pride Month, by the way. Should really do a video about what I identify as. That's a good idea. Hopefully we get to that before the end of June. So I kept my wisdom teeth. Like, I asked them to keep my wisdom teeth, and my husband asked me not to, and I told him no. So afterwards, I looked at my wisdom teeth, and you could see like the roots were just crisscrossed. I'm like, no wonder I have gaping holes in the side of my jaws and I'm in a lot of pain. And scarfing down, you know, pain reliever every 2 hours or so. No wonder. So we're going to be talking about, and then I also did 2 conventions back to back, which was Phoenix Comic Con and Denver Comic Con. After Phoenix, I wanted to get a video out, but I was mainly focusing on getting my Missy wig done for Denver because I was meeting Michelle Gomez, and I really wanted to meet her as Missy, the mistress of all evil. Just because she's like one of my favorite characters. So, what we're going to be talking about is how I got my Death Star popcorn maker. I love this thing so much. So my husband and I, we love making popcorn. Oh, another thing. I've been having, the reason why we're in my sewing room instead of my studio is because of the fact that I have to correct my posture. I damaged my left shoulder hand embroidering a jacket like 2 or 3 years ago. And now I'm going to go get it fixed. And so I have to correct my posture, and sitting in a chair like this actually helps me keep an eye on that. So yeah, let's get into how I got my Death Star popcorn maker. So I have always loved popcorn. I have loved going to the movies since I was a little girl. Like, growing up, my family had a gigantic movie room, just wall-to-wall VHSs, and you can imagine how massive that collection was, even with how big VHSs were back in the heyday for, you know, us 90 kids. And if you were born after, I want to say like 95, and that's pushing it, that's being generous in my opinion, you don't count as a 90s kid. Like, my little brother tried pulling that with me. No, it wasn't my little brother. Was it my little brother? A couple kids who were born after 95 tried pulling that with me. I'm like, honey, no, you remember nothing about the 90s, okay? Like, nothing. You're an early 2000s kid. Just live with that. Anyways, So I grew up with a natural love of theatrics because, I'm very theatrical myself. So I grew up with a love of theatrics and a love of the movies. Like, my grandparents would always take me to the movies. It was just something we did with each other. My grandfather would sit through horrifying movies. I'd go back and watch them now, and I'm like, how did he survive? So my husband and I like to pop popcorn at home. He did that with his family, and I'm like, let's be bougie and buy a popcorn maker. And he's like, okay. So the popcorn maker we originally bought was something very cheap, and I remember looking at it thinking, oh, this is gonna die on us. And it lasted for, 1 or 2 uses. And it was like right before we moved from Arizona up to Colorado. My best friend Corgi Cosplay, Nicole, was over at my house and we were watching Force Awakens. Because, I'm Star Wars trash, depending on how you look at it. In my husband's book, I'm Star Wars trash. Which, makes perfect sense. I got a Death Star popcorn maker. It's like I've got a jar of dirt. I got a Death Star popcorn maker. Doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely. So I plugged the popcorn maker in, and it starts making these really demonic noises, and I'm thinking that doesn't sound right. So I unplug it, wait a few seconds, and then replug it in, turn it back on. It starts making the demonic noises again. So I text my husband, I'm like, hey, there's something wrong with the popcorn maker. And he told me, oh, well, you must have done something wrong with it. That was just his knee-jerk reaction, which, to be fair, weird things really do happen to me. There was this one time I broke a candle while sitting in the bathtub in the pitch black, talking to my friends on Messenger, and had to text my husband to come save me because I couldn't get out because I couldn't see where the glass had fallen. He told me I was entropy that night. I really am. So he was like, no, you did something wrong with it. I'm like, no, I didn't do anything wrong with it. I did exactly what you did when you make popcorn. And so we didn't have popcorn that night. I was like, I'm not going to turn it on. This just seems like it's super hella unsafe. So that led to, I want to say about a year long, kind of, wouldn't call it an argument, but kind of a spat between me and my husband of, let's have popcorn. Okay, let's buy it. Let's buy the bag stuff since we're already at, the store. No, we have a popcorn maker at home. It'll be okay. No popcorn then. So it finally came down to the day. When I say he was being a jerk about it, I mean, he was being a colossal dick. That's what I mean. He was just being a gigantic butt face about the entire thing and making me feel really bad. So when I found the Death Star on Amazon, I was like, hey baby, we need this. He's like, no, we already have a popcorn maker. It's perfectly fine. And I'm like, you haven't even tested it out. You don't know if it's perfectly fine or not. So it came to the day when we decided that we were going to do a Mel Brooks marathon. Because, I love satire, and Mel Brooks used the Schwartz. I'm not even trying to come up with these puns, and it's just perfect. So I sat back, and he's like, no, we'll use the popcorn maker we have at home. We're not buying bagged stuff. I still bought the white cheddar cheese one because that's still one of my favorite popcorns, and it has been since I was a small child. I will eat an entire bag of that. So I still grabbed that because I'm like, insurance, because I know how this is gonna play. I know how this is gonna go down. So he pulls out our old one, right? And he plugs it in. and it starts making this I can't even. I signed up to make a fool of myself tonight. So it starts making this. It sounded like a demon, okay? I wanted to pull out some holy water from my, just wanted to pull out some holy water and just be like, be gone, foul beast. So he unplugs it, and he's like, it's not supposed to be doing that. And he starts looking at it, seeing if there's anything he could see, because he likes to tinker with things, much to my chagrin. Chagrin? Is that right? Yes. I had to check. We're in the room with my computer, so. Anyways, so much to my chagrin, he likes to tinker with things every once in a while. Sometimes it comes out good, sometimes not so good. And then I have to quietly hide them or throw it away. So he starts, seeing if he could see anything. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Turns it on, demonic noises, Satan popped up out of the ground, decided to possess this popcorn maker, and was like, ha ha ha, you guys want popcorn? No. I'm gonna make this thing smoke. Because, next it started smoking. And he unplugged it, and, again, took a look at it. It's obviously very hot. And he was just standing there over the counter, looking at it, and I could see his jaw tightening and then tightening. And I'm like, so does this mean I get my deathstar popcorn maker now? Because I had been asking for it for a very long time. And he just looked very pained when he told me, possibly. And I knew I had won the argument. Even though it wasn't a really bad argument. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to marriage, there could be far worse arguments, but still. I had won, okay? I won. I was right. I did nothing to that damn popcorn maker. It was demonic, and it was possessed, and it followed us from Arizona to Colorado, and I was right. So therefore, I got my deathstar popcorn maker. Yeah. Let that be a lesson to you. Sometimes, when you're in a relationship or a marriage, and it's something as trivial as this, you don't need to stand your ground. You lie in wait. You lie in wait until they get proved wrong. And then you have a discussion about it, and then buy a deathstar popcorn maker. But honestly, if you're in a relationship, you don't always have to be right. You don't have to be right at that point in time. You wait. You lie in wait, and then they get proven wrong, and no one screamed, no one yelled, and, you get materialistic things. I am such a bougie person. But yeah, so we have a deathstar popcorn maker. Despite the reviews on Amazon, it works really well. I really like it. We love popcorn. Anytime there's a chance to use it, I use it. There's really not a time when I'm not in the mood for popcorn. I just try not to eat so much because of the wisdom teeth. It's really annoying to get them out of the little cavity, the little cubbies that I have in my back of my mouth. So yeah. That is the story of how I got my deathstar popcorn maker. And a little bit of relationship advice. To think that I'm giving people relationship advice. Anyway, so yeah. I'm going to definitely try to get another movie out. I'm going to try to get another video out. It's just really difficult to think of stories that I think people would want to hear about because I have so many weird ones, and don't know where to start or what people would find interesting because I babble when I get nervous like I'm doing now. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far. Congrats. See you next time. I feel so fully unprepared for the future.